Hey, everybody. I hope everybody can see me. Can everybody see me? Somebody say yes. I'm assuming you can see me. I'm assuming you can hear me. I am assuming. Okay, somebody said yes. Finally. I'm like, "Oh my god, could you imagine if nobody could see or hear me and I'm sitting here talking?" Is everybody having a fabulous day, I hope? Once again, here in the South, it is 95 degrees outside. It's not even 11 o'clock. It is too hot. It's too hot. You have to stay inside your house or your car. What you do is you stay in your house, which is air conditioned. Then you go to your car, which is air conditioned. Then you go to the grocery store, which is air conditioned. Now, it's my understanding a lot of people in the UK don't have air conditioning. I don't know how you take this because cannot I can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. Maybe when I was younger, but at this age, no, I can't do it. So, today is an update video. I have a lot of news. First of all, yesterday was very busy. We moved my youngest son home from college. He graduated back in May. He got a really good job. And so we moved him out of the crap hole he lived in with his two roommates. One of the roommates left, but didn't clean before he left. So we were left cleaning his area as well. Um, I'm okay. It's been a while since I rented an apartment. I mean, we rented that one apartment for a few months while we were waiting for the house, but not like this. There was a list of things that my son had to do and his roommates had to do. Let me tell you what some of the things were on the list, which I don't understand. Replace the batteries in the smoke detectors? Why would that be my son's responsibility? Make sure there's no burned out bulbs in the apartment of any kind. Not just clean the kitchen, but sanitize it. I kind of got the feeling, make sure all the baseboards are clean. I kind of got the feeling that the apartment complex doesn't want to pay somebody to go in and clean for the next tenants. They expect these kids, okay, I call them kids, but you know what I mean. They expect them to get the apartment ready for the next tenant. I didn't know what to think of the list. So, but I made sure to go around and videotape and take pictures of everything in the apartment as we were leaving. Like, there was a leak in my son's faucet. So even though he cleaned the sink, there's still water leaking out. And I took a picture of that. And the handrail going up the stairs was very loose. One good shove and the whole thing would come off. And there was just a lot of damage. Now, here's the interesting thing. The apartment complex, when they moved in, had what they called a portal where you could report the damages, like there's a broken blind or this doesn't work or that doesn't work. Very odd. And anyway, my son put this stuff in to this portal. And so some things had never been fixed. And so he went to the portal to show the apartment complex, and the apartment complex wiped the portal out from December of 2024 back. So anything that was put into the portal saying this was broken, that was broken, has been wiped off. It's gone. So, yeah, I see us having a problem. And let me just tell you one other little thing. A few months ago, my son came home from college and his car died while he was here. So my husband gave him his car. And my son said, I'm afraid they're going to tow it. I'm like, why would they tow it? Well, it doesn't have this sticker on it. Okay. Park in a visitor parking spot. So my son goes back to school, parks the car in the visitor parking spot, comes out the next morning, the car's been towed. So I called the apartment complex and I said, wait a minute. Why did you tow the car? And he said, well, there wasn't a sticker in the window. I said, well, how was he supposed to get a sticker? You were closed. He called the number for security and he didn't get an answer. So how does he get a sticker, a visitor sticker? Well, you have to come in when we're open and we give you one. Yes, it was the weekend you were closed. So we'll have somebody call you back. They never called. Of course, they didn't call me. They called my son and said it wouldn't be fair to give you back the $170 you had to pay to get your car back. That wouldn't be fair to the other tenants whose cars have been towed. So I'm waiting to see if they try to charge us anything for this apartment, because if they do, I'm going to sue in small claims court for the towing. And I'm going to show all the video and pictures I have of how we left the apartment and the mess that the apartment complex, the things that were wrong in the apartment complex that they didn't fix. And maybe it's just me, but I don't think that wiping the portal, don't they have a legal responsibility to keep that going so that people that move out can prove that they complained? Maybe it's just me. But that place was a crappy place. Carol says it's a dysfunctional. Yes. Okay. So, you wanted an update on my shoulder. Here we go. I went in and I had my MRI of my shoulder. And here we go. I'm reading the report. Hold on. Here we go. My shoulder, which will not go up still, this is as far as it goes, has a full thickness tear of the supraspinatus tendon. And this requires surgical repair because it will not heal naturally. So I'm absolutely going to have surgery on my shoulder. It's an absolute must. They also found moderate bursitis, which is, inflammation in the bursa, and that's what cushions the space in your shoulder. So they found that. Yeah, rotator cuff, Laura. And then they also found a shoulder labrum tear. Now, this is a thick piece of tissue attached to the rim of the shoulder socket that helps to keep the ball of the joint in place. And it was found to be fraying. That was probably from all of the pushing of patients and all the things I did. So there's all kinds of issues going on in my shoulder. So here's what the doctor said. I'm seeing the ortho doctor this coming week, and then they're going to shuttle me on to surgery. But here's what it's determined was found. Okay. So my shoulder was, I helped my son move the desk. The desk weighed nothing. Like literally it weighed absolutely nothing. So I don't get it. And then, the pain got a little bit worse and a little bit worse. And I went to the urgent care and they put me in the sling. And the guy says, take Tylenol, because, you guys know I don't like narcotics. I just don't like them. I'll only take them if I'm in so much pain I feel like I'm dying. So he said, take the Tylenol, put on lidocaine patches and muscle relaxers, which, because it was July 4th weekend, I couldn't get the muscle relaxers. The pharmacy was closed. But I did everything else. And I was managing the pain very well, and everything was okay. And then I went to sleep over the weekend, July 4th weekend, and we had big plans for the weekend. Everything got canceled because I woke up at like 11:30 at night in excruciating pain, worse than anything I'd ever had. I woke up my husband. I said, I need an emergency room. Now, this is the second time I've been to the ER this year. I go years without going. This is the second time. First time was when I had that summer cold and I woke up unable to breathe and I needed steroids and a breathing treatment and all that. So I go into the ER and they do an x-ray. They find nothing and they give me narcotics. It was determined that what happened was I rolled over in my sleep and the muscle actually completely detached from the bone. And that's why I woke up in such excruciating pain that night and needed to go to the emergency room. Worse than childbirth? No, it wasn't worse than childbirth, but it hurt. I mean, I was crying. It when the muscle finally ripped off the bone, the muscle went "Ooh," and wouldn't stop, and I needed to do something. And we went to the emergency room, and they sent in a narcotic, which, by the way, I never took. I still have the whole bottle, and I took the muscle relaxers, which were my saving grace. I will say that the muscle relaxers were my saving grace. So, the pain is terrible. What's really bad is the inability to raise my arm. It's so odd. It just won't go up. It's crazy. It's no, I have figured out a way to get my arm up. If I flip my hair forward so I'm bent over at the waist and get my hands to my hair and then stand up, my arm will be up. But it can only stay up a short amount of time before the pain becomes too much and I have to put my arm back down. So, yeah, it's definitely going to need surgery. I've been told that this is out of my realm of knowledge. But I've been told that my arm will be in this weird sling where it'll be like stuck to my body for an extended period of time. And then and then you have to have PT. I'm really glad I'm right-handed, because if this had happened to my right hand, I don't know what would have happened. So, yeah, but surgery is definitely in my future. And the thought process of the ortho, what she said to me when I went in and I said I lifted the desk, which weighed nothing, and this is what happened. The idea of I can't even say the word. The idea of the ortho was that this was a previous injury at some point and it was getting ready to rip. And then when I lifted the desk, that was like the final thing that did it, that this was a pre-existing something. But her comment to me the last time I saw her was, "You're still a relatively young woman and you need 2 functioning arms." So now I see several people writing that they've had this surgery and it's really terrible and all this kind of stuff. My question is, when it's over, will I be able to lift my suitcase again? Or am I going to have to baby this arm for the rest of my life? Can't lift anything with the left arm. Can't bring groceries in with the left arm. Can't lift your suitcase into the car with the left. What? For those of you who've had it, I would love your thought process. And let me just say this: the MRI. Let me tell you about the MRI. They like tucked me into this machine, pushed me in. It was so tight they had to take the one pad out, because I was like, "Whoa, that's really tight. That's really tight." The machine was this far from my nose. When I opened my eyes, I just went, "Oh my," like, "Oh my God, okay, I got to calm down. I don't want to have a panic attack in the machine." So I closed my eyes and I started doing imagery. I'm out in a field. The flowers are swaying. The sun is shining. I started humming to myself. We'll go back to that in a second. Actually, I was looking at Susan. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I started doing imagery and I calmed myself down to the point where I actually fell asleep in the machine. The guy was like, "Don't move. Don't take deep breaths." And I was like, "I have to breathe." He's like, "Well, when the machine's not making noise, take your deep breath then. Otherwise, don't take deep breaths." And I was like, "Okay." So I'm laying in this machine, but I did so much imagery that I actually fell asleep. Yeah. So, the MRI machines are tight. It's like a donut, a very long donut. When I went and looked behind me like this, I could see the back end of it. But that machine was literally this far from my nose. That's how close it was. I can totally see why people get panic attacks in them. Like, really. Welcome to your 50s, where we get mysterious 60s. You injure yourself while sleeping. That's pretty much what happened. Yeah, you didn't do anything. I'm telling you, I was shocked absolutely shocked when the doctor said, I kept looking at her going, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Did you fall? No. Did you knock into? No. What did you do? Nothing. I did nothing. I swear. I lifted this desk, which weighed nothing. And she was like, well, that's just the way it is. Now, as far as my son's apartment complex goes, I did go through. Oh, yes, by the way, the machines are very loud and they put these I asked for music and she said to me, "Do you move when you have music?" And I said, "Well, I might tap my toes." And she goes, "Nope, you're not getting music." She put the thing back on and they put these yellow soft earplugs. You put them in and they expand because yes, the machine is very loud. So, yeah. Now, going back to my son, I didn't carry anything. I just went around taping everything is what I did. I taped everything. I showed the inside of the refrigerator was clean, the freezer was clean, the stove was clean. Everything had been vacuumed. And then I went around and I taped all the crap of things that were wrong in the apartment. And like the couch was falling apart. They reported it in 2022. They also reported it 2 months ago. And they never replaced the couch. So now the couch is probably unusable and is going to have to be replaced. And I'm waiting for them to try to charge me for the couch. So, and as far as people keeping records, I cannot tell you how many times I said to my son, don't forget to keep copies of everything that you put into the portal. Please keep copies of everything. Oh, yeah, Mom, I got it. I got it. I got it. Well, then he goes into the portal. The portal was wiped. I said, I asked you to make sure you had copies. He didn't. He didn't. So there's there's nothing he can do. Now, Frigg, the new place he's moved into is here. It's here. He's going to live here because he has approximately $140,000 in student debt. This is where oldest son did it right. He went to tech. He's got 3 degrees, no college debt, but he owes $140,000. But he got a really good paying job, and we said, "You're going to move in here. We won't charge you any bills." He's like, "Well, I really want to live on my own." You can't afford it. You got rent, power, cable. You've got all these bills and you have like a $1,600 a month loan payment for the next 10 years. So what I want you to do is move in here and we won't charge you anything. And you are going to take 90% of your salary after they take out for insurance and retirement. You're going to take 90%. And you're not making $1,600 payments. You're making $3,000 payments. You're not paying on it for 10 years, hopefully not even 5 years, because if you cut out the interest and you really cut it down, hopefully, but we told him you can live here and pay it off. And the second it gets down to like, I don't know, 20 or 30,000, you can refinance it if you want and move out. There are a lot of programs out there, but, and I am not political, you guys. I'm simply saying Trump has eliminated a lot of the programs. So he's really stuck with what he has to pay. That's not political, just saying. So he's going to live here because he can't. Now, this job he got was really good. He gets to work from home, but for the first 90 days, he can't work from home. And the job is actually like 2 hours away. So here's what happened. When we first moved into this house, he offered his roommate, he didn't even ask us. He offered his roommate, "Oh, my parents just moved into their house." And he got the roommate a job here for the summer and said, "You can stay here at my parents' house." And I was like, "We don't have a room for him. He can sleep on a air mattress." And they said, "Okay." So air mattress it was. And the kids slept on our living room floor for the whole summer We didn't ask him for anything. He volunteered to cook us dinner one night a week, and he always cooked like something French. Like he would go out and buy all these ingredients and he would make these amazing, crazy dinners. Okay. So he did that. And we never asked for anything. Whenever I made dinner, he simply ate with us. We never asked for anything. We let him. Well, it's nice to know. Initially, I was a little irritated that my son offered him without asking us, but I was like, okay, whatever. I believe in karma. You guys know that what you put out is what you get back. And so I believe in karma. And so my son needed some place to stay in this other town. So he's got the 90-day probationary period. And so he's going to be driving 2 hours to that other town, and he'll be staying Monday night through Thursday night at this boy's parents' house for about the same length of time that boy stayed at our house. And so he doesn't have to drive 2 hours back and forth for 90 days. So we put it out and it's come back to us in an unexpected way. So he'll come home on Fridays after work. Of course, I'll have to do his laundry and, whatever. And then on Monday mornings, he'll get up super early and he'll drive back and go to work. And then once the 90 days is over, then he can work from home. And then that's not an issue. A perfect example of karma. So, all right. Do you guys have any questions about the shoulder or yes, Carol? Good deeds are paid forward. Very nice. Anybody have any questions about the shoulder or you know what? The apartment. Hang on one second. I have to find. Okay. I'm just going to show you a little bit. This is the video of the handrail as you go up the stairs. Okay. Another problem, which was also reported, that is the railing, the safety railing. Another problem, and I think the thing that really got me the most was in the kitchen. At one point, the boys had their, I just wanted to show that the blinds here are, let me find the right one. What do you call that thing? The dishwasher exploded and actually physically caught fire. Okay. So this is what they have for attic access. It's a mess. So yeah, Lisa, I don't mind doing his laundry. I figure all the driving he's doing and all the stuff he's doing, it's okay. I don't mind it. I really don't. He's a good kid. And, he's offered to pay us rent. He's offered to pay us all kinds of stuff. And I said no. Oh, here we go. Issues we noticed in the sink. There is no cover on the disposal, so you can put your fingers straight down. That's a safety hazard. Here is the dishwasher after the last one exploded and actually caught fire. And this is how they installed it. That's hanging down. That's how it's working. I mean, this apartment complex really just didn't, I mean, it's crap. Now, Christina, yes, this is exactly, he signed a lease and the portal should reflect the time of residency, but the apartment complex decided to wipe the portal. I don't know that that's legal. Don't they have a legal responsibility? Don't they have a legal responsibility to keep that going? It's so crazy. It's so crazy. Here we go. I bought a pole to save money on having palms. I ended up with rotator cuff complete by. Yep. That's what we got. Surgery was very easy, minimal pain, except first 2 days. See, that's what I'm afraid of. I don't like narcotics. I don't like to take them. And I got upset when I was in the emergency room. I'm not going to lie. I got really upset because she looked at me and goes, oh, well, you can take And N said, and I said, actually, because I knew then she hadn't looked at my record. And I said, no, really, I can't because um, I have gastritis. So NSAIDs are off the table. So then she goes, well, we're going to give you an oxycodone. And I just went, now I really, and she's like, you're going to have to, she goes, my nurse is going to think I'm nuts, but I'm going to have her break it in half. Just take half. And the half was all I needed. So anyway, you guys, all right. So those are the big updates. I do have surgery coming in my shoulder. And son is now home. Other son might be moving home. He moved out. He was doing well. And he feels that he needs to come home for a while. So his lease is running out. So we went from being empty nesters. We're going to have a full house. Empty nesters to a full house in one fell swoop. How in the hell did that happen? I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Ellie, dirty landlords. Yeah, I felt that the towing of the vehicles is a moneymaker thing. Because if you, well, we don't, oh, they also, because there was so many problems in this apartment complex, they instituted a curfew, a 6 p.m. curfew. So if I wanted to see my son, he had to come out of the apartment complex. I wasn't allowed in. I mean, and we tried to get him out, but we couldn't get it. We couldn't get him out of the apartment complex. So I was so ready for him to get out of that crap hole. Can you move in? No, there's no more room. They are meant to be home to help you after. So that is true. They'll be helping me. They're good boys. They'll help me out. So, all right, guys, short and sweet. This is the update. I'm about to be a oh my gosh, that's a good idea. Can I add a selfie stick to my cast? Darla, we did. He wanted to go back to his original dorm, but once you get out, you can't get back in. Like we tried, and we were glad that we got him out of there. Anyway, all right, short and sweet update, you guys. Hopefully by next week, I'll be able to tell you what the ortho said. And oh, and don't forget my other channel. There is a recipe for lentil soup on there. My husband made another thing of lentil soup. He's still cooking and helping out. And I put the recipe on my other channel. It was his mother's homemade German lentil soup. But again, I have slowed down a lot on the recipes, but that's because I'm having trouble cooking. So I'm not putting up the same amount of content that I was putting up before. But yeah. All right. So I hope Terry says, oh my God. There is a time and season. It's fun for home. Yes. And yes, delicious. Okay. All right. I will let everybody know, Flapper, and I hope everybody has a fabulous weekend and stay out of the heat. Stay cool. Talk to you later.